Hello students, welcome to the biology class. In today's class, I am going to discuss with you the topic human reproduction of second PUC science. So in this class, we are going to discuss about the fertilization. What is fertilization? We already know the definition of fertilization. Many times we have come across the word fertilization. But one more time, I am going to repeat the definition of fertilization. Fertilization is the process where two different types of gametes are fused together and forming the zygote. So it's a fusion of two different types of gametes. So two gametes are fusing. Gametes are fusing so as to form the zygote. The two different gametes are, one is spermatozoa or male gamete, another one is egg or ovum, which is the female gamete. So one is male gamete, another one is female gamete. Ovum and sperm. And this process is called the fertilization. So then what is the fertilization? Fertilization is the process where two different types of gametes are fused so as that they are forming a diploid zygote. So now we are discussing the process later. First of all, slight introduction of fertilization is needed here. So fertilization takes place inside the female body. Hence in human being, fertilization is called the internal. So in human being, fertilization is internal. Internal. So what is the meaning of internal fertilization? If the fusion of male and female gametes takes place within the female body, that fertilization is called the internal fertilization. But in case of many lower organisms like algae, bryophytes, in animals like frog and fishes, where fertilization is external. So external means this fusion of these two gametes takes place outside the female body in the environment, and such fertilization is called the external fertilization. But in human being, fertilization is internal means the fusion of these two gametes takes place within the female body. So this type of fertilization is called the internal fertilization. Then where it takes place? So fertilization takes place in the region that is called the ampullary isthmic junction. So this fusion of these two gametes takes place. So in a particular region, that region is ampullary isthmic junction. So while discussing the female reproductive system, we have come across these two words. So these two are the parts of fallopian tube. There are pair of fallopian tubes in human female reproductive system. So each fallopian tube is made by three parts. The one is infundibulum, ampulla and isthmus. So the fusion of these two gametes takes place in this particular region. Means ampulla is ending, isthmus is going to be start from this region. So that particular region is called the ampullary isthmic junction. So when these two gametes meet in that particular site, then only fertilization takes place. All copulations are not leading to the fertilization and pregnancy because this is the reason. When both the gametes reach simultaneously at the same time this particular point, then only there is a fertilization and pregnancy. But when many times copulation may take place, but all those copulations are not leading to the fertilization and pregnancy because at that time there not be a presence of egg. Egg is not there means fertilization is not taking place. So fertilization takes place when both sperms and ovum travel to this particular point simultaneously at the same time. So then only fertilization takes place. So during copulation, male discharge the semen in the high up of vagina or very close to the cervical region. So male discharge the semen in this portion. So during copulation, and that process is called the insemination. So that process is called the insemination. So what is the meaning of insemination? Discharge of semen from male inside the female reproductive tract. That particular point is high up the vagina or very close to the cervix. And this semen consists minimum 300 millions of sperms. The discharge of male reproductive system we call the semen, and this semen consists 300 millions of sperms. Suppose the number of sperms are 20 up to 20 millions. If the number of sperms are 20 millions, that condition is called the oligospermia. That is called the oligospermia. This is one of the reason for male sterility. Sterility means the person who is not able to reproduce. So that person is not going to reproduce. Suppose his semen consists only up to 20 millions of sperms. So the semen must consist 300 millions of sperms. Next. So even though there are millions of sperms are released by male, and these sperms may travel from the vagina, cervix, uterus up to the fallopian tube, but only few thousands of sperms can make their way into the opening of fallopian tube. Many of the sperms can die while they are traveling from vagina to the fallopian tube because of two reasons. The one reason is the acidic condition of genital tract. So female genital tract is acidic, which kills the many sperms. And second is the energy required to the sperm to move this distance. If they are not getting enough energy to move, so they may die within this reason, and only few thousands can reach the opening of fallopian tube. So these are the two reasons why, even though the entry of sperms are millions, only the few thousands can reach the fallopian tube. So next point is we are going to discuss is the egg or ovum which is released from the ovary has collected from these finger-like projections. And these finger-like projections we call as a fimbriae. And this egg has traveling from this fimbriae to up to this region by the help of the movement of fimbriae and also ciliary action. So inside this fallopian tube there are cilia, and their ciliary action make to travel the egg in the deeper portion of the or part of the fallopian tube. So by that time, if the sperms are there, the egg is going to be fertilized. When sperm meet the egg is not yet become functional egg. It is still in secondary oocyte condition. When sperm reach the egg, so this is not yet become the egg. It is still in secondary oocyte stage. It's still in secondary oocyte stage means, so primary oocyte has undergone first meiotic division and produced the two daughter cell. One daughter cell is called the secondary oocyte, and the daughter cell which is smaller in size is called the first polar body. And that secondary oocyte enters the second meiotic division, but that division is not going to complete unless there is an entry of sperm. Suppose if the sperm not enters the secondary oocyte, this secondary oocyte is not going to complete second meiotic division. So in this manner, many secondary oocytes may die because of non-entry of sperm. So when the sperm enters inside the female gamete, then only the secondary oocyte resumes it and completes the second meiotic division and divides into two daughter cells. One is functional oocyte And next one is, second one is second polar body. This second polar body is not going to be useful and it degenerate. But otid is become female gamete after entering the sperm. And in this manner, the second meiotic division is going to be complete. So in mammalian reproductive tract, spermatozoa are going to become activated. This activation process is called the capacitation. Inside the female genital tract, sperms are becoming activated. So this activation of sperm is called the capacitation. So these are the words which are very important for your theory purpose, your CET or NEET purpose. So many questions are going to be asked on these terms. Where does exactly fertilization takes place? So what is insemination? What is capacitation? Where does it take place? So these are the certain questions which you may going to get these questions in theory as well as in your competitive exams. So capacitation is the process. What happens during capacitation? Activation of sperms takes place by the secretion of female genital tract. Then what exactly happening here? So here during capacitation, the female genital tract secretes a secretion, and this secretion removes the coating deposited on the sperm surface. The sperm surface has certain coating. This coating has removed by this secretion. So by this what happens? The active sites are become exposed. The sperm head has some sites which are going to be exposed, and because of the exposure it may help at the time of fertilization, and this process is called the capacitation, and this process takes place inside the genital tract of female. So now we will discuss the complete process of fertilization, how fertilization takes place. There are many physical and chemical changes events are there during fertilization. Fertilization is not so simple as we are defining. While defining, we used to say that fusion of two different gametes to form the zygote. So this is not so simple as we define. There are many steps are there in fertilization process. So what are those steps? Let us discuss one by one. So the events of fertilization. Events of fertilization. So first event is attraction of gametes. Attraction of gametes. So second one is acrosome action. Acrosome action. Third one is gametic fusion. Gametic fusion. Fourth one is cortical changes. Cortical changes. And last one is karyogamy, or which may also call it amphimixis. Amphimixis. So these are the many events which are taking place during the fertilization. So during these events or process, many physical and chemical changes takes place both in sperm as well as in the egg. Let us see one by one. First of all, we will start with the attraction of gametes. So the attraction of gametes is very important because to perform the fertilization. When gametes come very close to each other, then only there is a chance of meeting of these gametes and fertilization takes place. If gametes are separated or they are away from one to another, there is no possibility of fertilization. So attraction of gamete takes place by the help of a chemical present on both egg and sperm surface. So that chemical we usually call the gamone, or it's a type of hormone. Gamone is a type of hormone present on both the sperm and egg surface, and it may be in two types: fertilizing and anti-fertilizing. Anti-fertilizing. Fertilizing substance is present on the surface of egg, and anti-fertilizing is present on the surface of sperm. So these fertilizing and anti-fertilizing gametes or hormones are very specific to species. So they can attract to their own species gametes. Suppose if there are gametes of fish and frog in the water, the fish egg never attracts the sperm of frog. The fish egg attracts the fish sperm only, frog egg attracts the frog sperm only, and that is because of presence of these two kinds of gametes or hormones present on the surface of these gametes. And because of this attraction, the gamete, female gamete attracts the sperm towards it. And this one is called the attraction of gametes, and because of that, the male gametes are attracted towards the female gamete or towards the egg. So this is the first step of fertilization. So next one is acrosome reaction. Acrosome reaction. So acrosome is a part of sperm. While discussing the structure of sperm, we are very clearly understood what is acrosome, where it is present, what is its function. Now let us see how it works. So in this head region of sperm, there is a cap-like structure around the nucleus. This is the nucleus and this is the cap-like structure present above the nucleus of sperm. And this portion is called the acrosome. This is called the acrosome. So the acrosome is containing many hydrolytic enzymes. They are called the sperm lysates. They are also called the sperm lysates. There are three types of hydrolytic enzymes. One is hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase. Second one is, second hydrolytic enzyme is neuraminidase. And third one is acrosome. So these are the three kinds of hydrolytic enzymes, and they are very important for dissolving the membranes of egg. So these two are hyaluronidase and acrosomes are very important to dissolve or to break the zona pellucida, whereas neuraminidase is useful to prevent the polyspermy. Polyspermy means preventing the entry of more sperm inside the egg. So this enzyme is going to help to avoid the more sperm entry inside the egg. So these three enzymes are present in this acrosome region. So acrosome is derived from the Golgi body of spermatid, we know very well. And how this action takes place. So as the capacitated sperm enters or come in contact with the egg membrane. So egg has three membranes, already we know very well. The outermost layer is made by cells of corona radiata, and next layer is made by the zona pellucida. This is the zona pellucida layer, and inner one layer is called the plasma membrane. So the sperm when enters through animal pole, first it moves through between the cells of granulosa cells of corona radiata, and once it attaches the zona pellucida layer. So here this is I am going to enlarge this portion. This is the zona pellucida layer. Once the sperm attaches this point, the active site triggers. The binding site triggers. And the membrane, plasma membrane of sperm and the plasma membrane of acrosome fuse, and the content of this acrosome release on the surface of the zona pellucida. So these hydrolytic enzymes dissolve the zona pellucida layer, and the sperm head along with middle piece and centriole enter inside the region, and that region is called the perivitelline space. Perivitelline space present between the zona pellucida and the plasma membrane. So this sperm enters from the zona pellucida to this region called this region is called the perivitelline space. Perivitelline space. So this process is called the acrosome reaction. So after entering the perivitelline space of egg membrane, the plasma membrane of the sperm as well as plasma membrane of the egg sperm both are fusing. Plasma membrane of egg and sperm are fusing, forming, or they are joining, that is called the cytoplasmic bridge. And when the sperm enters the cytoplasma of the egg is still in secondary oocyte condition. Means, so it has temporarily arrested at the second meiotic division. After entering the sperm inside the cytoplasma only, it is going to be complete second meiotic division. And the fusion of attachment of this sperm to the membrane of egg is called the gametic fusion. And once the sperm nucleus enters the cytoplasma of egg, there are one more event takes place, that is called the cortical reaction or changes. The fourth one is cortical changes. So what is the meaning of cortical changes? On the peripheral region of the egg, there are corticals are there or some vesicles are there. Just below the plasma membrane, inside the cytoplasma or peripheral region of the egg. So there are vesicles are there and they are filled with the content. Once the nucleus of the sperm enters the cytoplasma, these vesicles move very close to the plasma membrane and they release their content outside this plasma membrane. The content of these cortical granules is released outside and by process for the exocytosis. Exocytosis process, they release this content. And this content will make the hardening of zona pellucida. The zona pellucida is going to be hardening and also they are making inactive of binding sites of the plasma membrane. So it means there is no entry of more sperms inside the plasma membrane. So when this sperm is entering inside the cytoplasma of the egg is oozing out and forming the conical shaped structure, and this is called the fertilizing cone. So all these events takes place one after one for the fertilization. So here is the nucleus of the egg and the sperm enters also along with its nucleus and head enters inside the cytoplasma and it is still in the cone, fertilization cone region. And next is we call the last step, that is karyogamy or amphimixis. Karyogamy is nothing but it is a fusion of nuclei of two gametes. So the male nucleus is in the fertilization cone and female nucleus is here. They are not immediately fusing. There are certain changes are taking place both in male nucleus and female nucleus. So male nucleus which come along with the head, middle piece and tail, all these parts are separated or dissolved. Only nucleus is entering towards the female nucleus. And that changes are after that changes, the male nucleus is called the male pronucleus. After removing or leaving the middle piece and tail region, all these structures are dissolving there itself only, and now only nucleus is remaining with the centriole proximal centriole, and now this is called the male pronucleus. And at the same time, female nucleus is also undergoing the certain changes and forming female pronucleus. One is second meiotic division is going to be completed, and the result of second meiotic division, what happens? Second polar body is forming. That second polar body is now going to be degenerating, and only functional lutein is remaining. And now this nucleus is called the female pronucleus. Female pronucleus. So when these two come very close to each other, male pronucleus and female nucleus, there is a dissolving of their nuclear membrane, and 23 chromosome of male and 23 chromosome of female, they are fusing and forming a structure which has 46 chromosomes. Now this is the diploid nucleus. Now this cell is called as a zygote. So here the process of fertilization is completed, and this is the stage the sex determination of the young one is decided, because the sex determination takes place by the presence of two types of chromosomes. As we know, female have 2 XX, male have 1 X and 1 Y. When gametes are forming, the haploid gametes having, if the female produce gametes, all the gametes are having X chromosome. If the male producing gametes, 50% of gametes are having X chromosome and 50% are having the Y chromosome. If the offspring born with the fusion of these two gametes, that will be definitely a female baby. If the offspring born with the fusion of these two gametes, then that is going to be male. Means the sex of the new offspring is decided only in this stage. What type of sperm has fused with egg nucleus? Whether the sperm bearing X or Y decides the sex of the new baby. So here the sex determination takes place. Now I am going to finish this segment here only. In the next class we will discuss the early development of embryo. Thank you.